All right, I know what you're thinking. Altcoin season seems absolutely dead. It feels like we're in the middle of the Sahara Desert with no life forms around, but I'm here to tell you that Alex Becker has seen what we hope is not a mirage, but an actual lagoon, an oasis for us to drink and wet our beaks in. He actually mentioned last week a token recommendation that he thinks has awesome potential. So we're going to be jumping into that token today, show you exactly how high he thinks it's going to go and when could be a good time to get in. Before we do get started, I've actually been working on something new here. I have created an email list, and I've been emailing this list for the last 10 days, and I've been getting some really awesome responses for you guys who are part of this list saying that you've been loving it. But I'm basically bringing you crypto, Web3 updates, any tech updates, some really awesome positive optimism and philosophy, anything that I've been thinking of or think could really improve your lives. I'm mailing that out to you every single day completely free. The link will be the first link in the description below if you want to jump onto this newsletter. I highly recommend it. I'm putting my heart into this thing for you guys. I'm really trying to provide as much value as possible. So if you've been enjoying these videos, you're going to love the emails, and they're short, succinct, and they're just going to bring a little spark, a little inspiration, or a little bit of opportunity into your day. So jump onto that. Now, let's get on to Becker. This was the tweet that I came across. This is 29th of June, 2024. And he says, this is not Becker, sorry, this is Mert. And Becker's going to respond to this. I'll show you that in a second. Kind of insane how much photo finish game is slept on, meaning underappreciated. Insanely realistic horse racing game from the guys behind Madden, EA Sports, Zynga, and FanDuel. Partnerships with the Kentucky Derby and NBC. I mean, Ian literally invented the Madden hit stack, question mark, 200k views. And who was to reply to this? Well, we had both Becker replying to it and Photo Finish, the game we're about to talk about. Alex Becker says, it won't be much longer. Literally one of my biggest pure game holds, meaning he holds a lot of gaming infrastructure, but in terms of a specific one game that he's holding, this is one of his biggest holds, and we're going to talk more about his holds in a second. Photo Finish Live, their official account says not much longer, and then responded with their app, which is looking really good, really clean, and really promising. So let's actually go a little bit more into Photo Finish Live. You've probably seen it before. It's not a brand new Becker recommendation, but it is interesting that he's still pushing it really hard and is telling us that he holds a lot of it. So what is Photo Finish Live? Well, you can basically liken it to something like ZK Race, which used to be called D Race or Z Race, where it's virtual horse racing. So instead of the horses being real life horses that you have to take care of, look after, make sure they don't get injured, feed them, pay all the trainers, jockeys, they're taking this to the virtual world, which I believe personally is very opportunistic, at least where we're going to the future and the metaverse in 10 years from now. I think this is going to take some massive market share, and I'm going to show you exactly how much market share there is to be taken. You can see Photo Finish Live here. As real as it gets, $17 million in virtual horse sales, $12 million USD in race purses, and I believe $30 million it's gone now. Buy, sell, trade, and breed virtual horses, race against other players for real money, proud partner of the Kentucky Derby, or Derby, depending on where you're from and how you pronounce that, which I think, in my uneducated opinion, is the biggest name in horse racing. These guys are legit. They've got some massive, awesome people on their team, which we'll go through, and some really impressive partnerships. So over here on their Twitter, you can see they've got 32,000 followers. Their tweets are good. Like, this is how a lot of people judge a project. They're like, oh, let's have a look at their Twitter. They see how frequently they're posted, and then they see how in the know are they. Are they a bit stiff and like weird, or are they flowy? Are they retweeting interesting stuff? Are they posting some memes and some intriguing things where, like, there's a lot of horse races out there, horse bettors on horse races, should I say. The horse racing market size is valued at $396 billion in the year 2022, $400 billion industry, and is expected to more than double by 2030, which is crazy opportunity. And this is real horses, which is weird to have to specify that these are actual living horses. Think about how much more efficient and how much more scalable. You don't have to wait for horses to rest. You don't have to wait for horses to grow up. You know, you could breed a horse and it could be an adult in an hour in the virtual world, where in the real world it's a lot different. And people are wanting to bet. People are even wanting to buy shares in horses or buy their own horses and race their own horses. There's a massive market opportunity that is opening up over the next decade. And Crown by Third Games are the market leaders. And where I was linking that back to their Twitter is they're putting like the photo of the finishes of tight horse races. And if you're a horse gambler and you like to bet on horses, and then you come and see, oh wait, these are virtual ones, they got some interesting finishes, you might come and follow, and they're tapping into a big market, and they've already had 13 million downloads on their horse racing app. So they got a big list of people that they can be pushing over to this. So let's have a look exactly how high Alex Becker thinks this could go. So his official Twitter account here. Make sure you see that little gold verification thing to make sure it's him. There's a lot of fake accounts out there. He says, Crown is the easiest 5x in crypto. If the adoption pickup it's getting keeps up. Now, don't worry about this because this is the old pricing here before a migration. We can see exactly what price that was when Beck was calling it by coming down here. It could be way more than a 5x. I'm just saying a $500 million market cap on this from here is a modest bet. So if we come over to the market cap now and see exactly how much it is, it's at a $97 million market cap. So it's basically the same price now as it was when Becker is saying it's a modest bet or basically a sure thing at a 5x. And so this is the token. Crown is the utility token. You come into their white paper and you can see Crown is the utility token of the Photo Finish TM Live virtual horse racing ecosystem created by Third Time Entertainment. That's the big app that had, here we go, over 15 million downloads worldwide. Players stake Crown tokens to proportionally own racetracks and receive a percentage of race entry fees in the form of a derby, which is an in-game currency, but it is not a cryptocurrency. It's not a blockchain-based one. It's just one that you can use in a game, just like in any Web 2 game. Crown is on Solana, which is probably the best token to be on at the moment. It's got really high volume and a lot of massive companies are launching on Solana. If you are buying or if you have Crown, make sure you do stake it because the staking rewards are high. You've got 50% of the allocation of all Crown goes to stakers, so make sure you're earning that inflation because you can come down and see it still does have a small to medium amount of inflation. I would actually say that's pretty small. It's pretty well diluted already. And I actually just wanted to touch on their team because to think that we are almost finishing this video and we haven't talked about their team when their team is very impressive. This is their faces here. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see this is what they look like. But if you want to know their accolades, there's their advisors down here. This guy looks like money, if you ask me. Looks like they're backed by a nice advisor with a lot of money from the UAE. So here you can see it says, the team and company are regarded as one of the true blue chip companies developing in the Solana ecosystem and on the blockchain as a whole. All three original founders have worked for 15 plus years in the game industry with senior leadership positions held at EA, Zynga, Rochambeau, Glue Mobile, and FanDuel. And once again, Photo Finish Live was one of the most popular horse racing games in history. It says 13 million views here by at the time they wrote this, but 15 million downloads, sorry, is the actual number now. And then they followed it up with a horse racing manager, which was featured multiple times globally at the top of the App Store. So they know how to get attention for their apps. Now, if we zoom out, let's have a look at the shape of this graph. I know it's pretty arbitrary, but this is why I'm making the video now, because one, Becker talked about it, but it's had a massive pullback. The whole market's pullback. You guys know the sentiment of the market right now. It's pretty much fear at all-time highs. A lot of people are saying that this is the best opportunity that we're going to have to actually jump in. And I can see, 3 months from now, everything rockets. You're like, oh, it was so obvious. The ETFs, the elections, and all the hype and all the speculation that this was going to be such a sure thing. And you can even see how much opportunity there actually is, money going into the market, that there are some tokens that are going to perform extremely well. We're actually looking for the next 100x token inside of our inner circle, which is our paid membership, where we break down 2 tokens basically every 2 days until we find the next 100x gem. So if you want to help participate in that, I'll link that up in the description below for you. And so you can see the current market cap, circulating market cap, is $71 million. And if we turn on the market cap lens here, you can see it peaked up at $250 million. Maybe a little bit more here. I don't know if this was measuring accurately. Maybe the dilution is there. And I hear that the dilution for the NFT projects are going to end in early 2025. So that's going to constrain reply at that point in time. But yeah, it reached $1.67 at a $250 million market cap to come and have a look at something like ZK Race, which doesn't have those sorts of partnerships. It doesn't have the Kentucky Derby, it doesn't have the big names coming from Zynga and all the massive apps with 15 million downloads. And you have a look at what it reached in the last bull market, it was $240 million. And Becker says that this is going to be a very modest bet to think that this Crown by Third Games couldn't outperform ZK Race and crush a $500 million market cap, which could be a really interesting time for us to get in. And just to put some perspective on things, I always like to do this because Axie Infinity, a really simple game, a very simple 2D graphic game, doesn't really have as much intrinsic value as sort of horse racing because you're gambling, and in the gambling, people will be okay losing money and putting that back into the ecosystem because they have the chance to win a lot of money, where Axie Infinity is a bit different to that. But you can see it reached a $10 billion market cap at the peak of the bull market in the late 2021. And I always like to anchor here because there's a lot of upside that we may be not even thinking about just because we've been worn down recently over the last 6 months as the altcoins start to pull back. So let me know what you think about the Crown token, and remember to sign up to this newsletter completely free. Daily email about opportunities in Web3, optimistic viewpoints on technology and how we can use it to make as much money as we possibly can, escape the crazy amounts of inflation that is going on around us, and just any interesting musings that I'm coming across on the internet or that I'm thinking about that's going to help my life. I like to share that with you. So you can sign up once again, link in the description below.